Ciao e benvenuto. Hello and welcome inside the Milano Santa Giulia Arena. Semi-final day of the Para Ice Hockey Tournament at Milano Cortina 2026. It's USA versus Czechia. Later today, it's Canada versus China. In this game, the Americans the clear favorites, looking for an unprecedented fifth straight gold medal. Declan Farmer has been on another planet. The superstar has piled up 18 points already in just 3 games. Czechia coming off a loss in their final pool play game, but kept it close against Canada. We'll try to do the same today. Coach says they'll try to be a lot more disciplined with fewer trips to the penalty box. Win this game, a medal is a guarantee. Lose, and you're fighting for bronze. Regardless the outcome, a spot in the semifinals already a best for Czechia. USA wants gold, and they want it in a big way, and it seems like they have the talent to try to go after it. The referee in today's game is from Canada, Matthew Fergenbaum. And the linesmen, Dylan Dauphiny and Andreas London. And there they are shaking hands with the captains. USA captain, 5-time Paralympian Josh Pauls. Czechia captain, Radek Zelenka, who scored the overtime winner to give the Czechs bronze at last year's Worlds. Both captains averaging 2 points per game so far in Milano. Rob Snook alongside 2006 Paralympic gold medalist Paul Rosen. Paul, we've been mesmerized by the puck movement of USA. What can Czechia do to compete against this lineup you see on your screen?
Well, there's 3 very important things. Number 1 is goaltender Patrik Silacek has to have the game of his life. It can happen. Upsets can happen. They're very rare, but they can. They have to stop Jack Wallace, the puck-moving defenseman. They cannot let him go coast to coast. And the most important thing is Declan Farmer, the absolute best player in the world. They have to keep him outside and put bodies on him as much as possible.
David Hoff already has a Paralympic gold medal under his belt. The head coach of Team USA out of Bottineau, North Dakota. And on the other side of the ice, a Czech team that has continued to improve and develop. 6th at the last Paralympic Games, but since then, bronze, bronze, and bronze. 3 bronze medals at the World Championships. With this roster that we'll see in front of us, including Michael Geyer, who's the left winger on the second line, who was the MVP of the World Championships a few years ago, but that first line is really effective.
Yeah, Jakub Nabonski, the coach, he's really worked hard with this team over the last couple of years, and their goal, continuously winning the bronze in the world, their goal was coming into Milano Cortina to win a bronze medal. Obviously, a gold or silver is incredible, but the bronze was their sights.
There he is, Jakub Novotny, his assistant coach, Yuri Brisa. Last year at the World Championships, USA beat Czechia in the round robin, but it was close. It was a 4-3 final. Michael Geyer scored twice in that one. Declan Farmer did as well. There is Patrik Silacek. He was voted best goaltender last year at the World Championships. And on the other side of the ice, Griffin Lamar gets the start, his 2nd start of the tournament.
Yeah, Lamar has really come a long way. He reminds me a lot of the great Steve Cash, who won a number of medals and was considered one of the best goaltenders in U.S. history, was inducted into the USA Hockey Hall of Fame recently.
You see Josh Pauls, the captain of USA, he said, we're such a deep team, we can roll 3 forward lines. We're going to be really hard to beat because we will wear on our opponents. Semi-final number 1 is underway. Czechia in the white jerseys, USA in blue. Racing after the puck, the U.S. right off the bat with Brett Bolton. And it'll be covered up and held 7 seconds in. Patrik Silacek with a little conversation already with his captain. And Zelenka talking about why he covered that, I think.
And that's the dangerous part of this USA team. Brett Bolton, the youngster, flying off the draw.
Czechs win the face-off. Dolezal sends it around the boards. He leads his team in plus-minus in the tournament at +8. which is really incredible. But Declan Farmer is a plus 19 to lead all in the tournament. But that, as we mentioned, he's on another planet. He's out there right now with Roybal and Bolton. Farmer's in front working. He couldn't get a shot away. Two Czechs come together on him. Now back to the blue line. Here's Scrove. He doesn't want to shoot it. Farmer couldn't from that angle. Well, I shouldn't say that. He can shoot from any angle, it seems. He's got the puck now. They're watching him very closely. Two Czech players are actually kind of watching him at various moments. Declan Farmer, most dangerous player in the world. Here's Wallace. He rips one wide of the net. The defenseman that you talked about, Paul.
Great, absolutely great defensive play on Farmer, but he slips it off the Walls, and Walls does something that very few can do, that one-timer ripper.
Loose puck pushed towards the USA blue line. Farmer gets there in a hurry. He'll slide it across the Czech blue line. I'm going to guess he's going to head off the ice. Well, he was going to, but he didn't get across the center red line, so I think he'll have to stay on the ice.
They will for sure have to stay on the ice. They're trying to stretch that pass out to Jack Wallace. Roddy Roybal, who's been an incredible player for years, he hasn't had, I think, the tournament that he'd be happy with yet, believe it or not.
2 goals, 8 assists. So it hasn't been a bad tournament, but you're right. I think you're right. But I think he's doing what he needs to do, and maybe he's one of these guys, Paul, who gets better through the tournament.
No,
you build.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Like mere mortal with looking at those numbers.
Excellent point. Oh, Bolton is absolutely hammered, but that's going to be called on a teeing call against Habo. Zdeněk Habo, he thought it was okay. He's trying to go shoulder, or at least hip on waist maybe, but it just was teeing, no doubt about it.
Almost like an old school hip check, but he has a sled attached to his hip, so that's not right. Now, this is the danger with Czechia playing a physical game, is if you play a little too physical and you're in the box, this USA power play is lethal.
Well, this is specifically what Jakub Novotny did not want. He talked about his team being disciplined, not taking penalties. USA power play at just about 55%. It scored 6 goals on 11 chances. Here's Wallace. He'll leave it in behind his net for Farmer. He'll survey the scene. Slide it ahead for Wallace. Goes off his stick into the corner. Dolezal back for it. Wallace beats him. Throws it to the front. Ends up on the stick of Roybal. Brody Roybal holds on, drops it back to Farmer. In a stride, in another stride, got a bit of room. Farmer shoots, and that's blocked. Another chance for Pauls. Couldn't filter it through the traffic in front, and it's caught up in somebody's gear, and they're going to blow it down. Still a minute 19 to go in the Czech penalty.
And this is a plan that Coach Novotny has to have. If you have to bottle up the front of the net, it's called the house. Bottle up the house and force them to get it through 3 or 4 players. More than likely, it's going to be blocked by a body. That's why shots on goal are so important in this game. You get 20, 25 shots, and it's comparable to 50 in an able-bodied game, Rob.
The one change in the USA lineup, Josh Mishevich is into the game. Number 24, lurking in the front of the net. Hasn't played yet in the tournament. Till now, Wallace, left-handed, just wide of the net. Pauls has got it on his stick. USA captain, back to Farmer at the blue line. Dangles a little bit with the right stick, puts it on his left stick. Watched by Zizlowski, and now Zdeněk. Tries to throw it in front for Wallace, and it's going to be sent down the ice. Czechia's penalty killing was only 60% effective so far. They've gotten big penalty trouble against Canada in their last round-robin game. Here come the Americans busting in with Farmer. He got spun around by Mikhail Geyer. He's going to chase after the puck in the corner again. Still a half a minute for the Americans to work on the power play. Farmer gets spun around, slides it back in for Captain Pauls. He'll deal it back to Wallace. This is nice puck movement. Here's Wallace. Here's Farmer. There's a shot off the side of the net. Czechs had a chance to clear it, didn't get enough on it. Josh Pauls has got it. In for Declan Farmer. Looking and holding and dropping it back to Wallace. He'll snap it towards the net. That missed. Czechia is doing a nice job clogging up the front of the net, Paul.
Picture perfect, exactly what they have to do.
Czechs have killed off the penalty. USA has to clear the zone on the delayed offside, and the linesman didn't like the way that happened.
And he's right by the bench making sure everybody is back on the ice. Well, we're only a few minutes into this game, and I can tell you, great. Sedlacek covers the net, forces him to go off the post, off the side of the net. But right now, the game plan for Czechia, other than the penalty, has been perfect.
They've got their best face-off man, Zizlavsky, against Farmer. Wins the draw back to Dolezal. He couldn't make the play he wanted. Czechs still have possession, but they don't make the best of it. Here comes Declan Farmer on a breakaway. Farmer! Oh, what a save by Sedlacek with the left arm, and he reaches out and pounces on it. A monster save by the Czech keeper.
This is the key to this young Czechia goalie. I had a chance to talk to him a few days ago. What a nice kid. He is working so hard to be one of the best in the world, and this is exactly what he had to do. Declan Farmer at a breakaway, that is like, you know,
terrifying.
Yeah, flip a coin and just put your head up and pray. But he followed him, he waited and waited and waited, and he forced him, and the dive out was just absolutely beautiful.
The last time these two teams met was at the Para Cup in Canada in November, December, and USA eked out a 3-1 win over the Czechs. Let's watch this.
So here it is. He goes back to the right hand, left hand, right hand, pulls it out, and he just gets his glove up. If he would have got a little higher, it's in the net, but a great play. What a save. Dominik Hasek,
wow,
reincarnated.
Just to finish that thought, the Czechs did a great job in that game against every other player on the U.S. except Declan Farmer. USA won 3-1, came from behind to do it. Farmer scored 1 goal in the first, 1 goal in the second, and 1 goal in the third, as you know, Paul.
Hey, he wanted to be, you know, friendly. He didn't want to get too much and, you know, put a goal in each period.
But a 3-1 loss against the Americans, you're in the game.
Absolutely.
Malik Jones in the corner being watched by Czech captain Radek Zelinka, who leads them in several statistical categories in the tournament. Here's Beasley. And here's a chance for Jones, rolls off his stick. So now the Americans are rolling their third line. And the referee just dodging out of the way of Pauls. It is not easy to do when they're in there tight. And Kevin, or at least Matthew Fergenbaum, having to do a little dance. Here's a steal for the Americans, and it's going to be called, though, an offensive zone tripping penalty, or a teeing penalty, we'll call it this time around, against the U.S.
Brett Bolton. Young Brett Bolton takes the penalty there. Here it is, trying to get it out. Oh, that's the penalty. And that's Nichols. Pardon me, it's Nichols.
Well, there was a good look at how Fergenbaum's trying to dance out of the way. Czech power play so far in the tournament. 2 goals on 10 shots, a 20% ratio. The puck sent in net, they score!
And this is what seems to happen the last little while is the opponent slips in that first goal on U.S., but don't get, you know, too down if you're a USA fan. They usually find a way to take a deep breath and come back. That is an absolute beautiful play. Kubas sees Geyer. Geyer gets that right hand down the stick. Bouncing puck, great play to make that deflection off a bouncing puck. Lamar, no chance. Italy did the same thing to USA, if you remember, at the beginning of the tournament, and then it was pretty well lights out.
And they scored 25 seconds after the puck drop. So, Farmer et al. Now trying to come from behind. Remember, they did beat the Czechs last year at that tournament we talked about in Canada after falling behind 1-0. Oh, that one deflected on the way to the net. Sedlacek went one way, had to react the other way. Zdenek around the boards. Hetsko bumped by Cunningham. Zizlowski comes in to grab a hold of it. He led the Czechs in scoring at the Worlds last year to number 12 on Czechia. Here's Vesely, lost it. Buzzing in was Roybal. He couldn't make a play on it. Czechs got away with one there. And they still can't clear it out of the zone, though. Here's a chance for Declan Farmer. Centering pass that'll be broken up and flipped out to center ice. Vesely, but coming off the bench was Pauls. And he might turn this into offense, and he's absolutely hammered by Hetsko. But Pauls doesn't even flinch.
Now, Pauls is a tough guy. He's small, but he's tough.
Here's Roybals fishing for the puck. Picked up by Mishevich. Playing his first game of the tournament. Here's Wallace. Waits till everybody comes out of the zone. Now he brings it in. Wallace, 1-on-3, rips a wrist shot. That's right in the glove of Sedlacek.
You're not going to beat Sedlacek from that angle. There's just no way. And this is what Czechia is doing. They're forcing those long shots. Again, that was an absolute beautiful play. Just to get his stick on that bouncing puck. And you see the crowd, Czechia fans are so excited.
Kuvesh and Kapko get the assists on that goal by Mikhail Geyer at 5:08 of the first period. Czechia battling in their own zone. It's all tied up in the gear of Habu.
It was stuck in the sled in the grades of the sled, the frame of the sled. And once it's stuck there, you have to pull it out with your hand.
Some great hockey announcer used to say it's caught up in his paraphernalia.
There you go.
And again, it's almost caught up in the paraphernalia, but it's dumped down the ice. It might just go for an icing call. It does against Team Czechia.
Josh Pauls could have been on the USA curling team with that one.
Yeah, really.
Well, only 7 minutes gone in the first period, and Czechia has just played their game plan to a T so far.
David Eustace on the face-off for USA. He's out here with Dodson and Mishevich, the forward line for the Americans. Centering pass, going to slide by everybody and come out to center ice. Josh Pauls back for it. You can just see the calmness that it exudes from Pauls. Skates the puck to center, lost it, gets it back, and rolls it into the zone. Eustace racing after it. He's had a nice tournament so far for the U.S. with 5 goals already. Buzzes after it along the boards. Dodson battles there. 4 players all in close proximity. Grove under traffic, under duress. Dodson sends it to an open corner. Here's Malik Jones. Tries to just flip it to the net. Sees what kind of havoc it might cause, and it did actually cause a fair bit.
Smart play by Jones there. He had Beasley wide open. He tried to just flip it over Sedlacek's stick, but he just couldn't get it. Little too far over. Here it is right here. Blocker stop. Sedlacek calm. One thing, U.S. is not going to panic. I will guarantee you that.
Zizlowski against Nichols. Each team's best face-off man, and Zizlowski wins it. Hetchko along the boards, tries to shovel it past the blue line. He couldn't. Batted out of the air smartly. Centering attempt. Wallace was there, but it didn't get to him. Dolezal can't get to that puck. Nichols holds off a check, throws it towards the net. Never got through. Czechia really doing a good job clogging things up. Here's Cunningham at the blue line, leaves it there for his teammate Nichols. He's got a bit of room. Sends a pass in front, and that just missed Malik Jones. USA really showing its depth, I think, trying to wear down, and that was exactly the quote from Josh Pauls, trying to wear down USA.
Trying to get pressure, and they're really starting to move the puck well. I think they're trying to get a little too fancy, trying to feather these passes into a very small zone, but you can see that they're in the Czechia zone. They're really starting to get some action, and it's just a matter of time. If Czechia somehow can get the second goal, they will start to really believe.
Well, Sedlacek's going to try to seal off his net if he can do anything about it. Zizlowski against Farmer. Farmer wins the draw. Here's Noah Grove. Leaves it there for Brody Roybal. Drops it back to Grove. He throws it in front of the net. Picked up and banked off the boards. And Czechia is going to bring it out to center. And a good hit thrown on Vesely by Pauls. And another good hit thrown the other way by Hetchko, who likes to throw his weight around.
Oh yeah, he's a big boy.
Grove throws a pass for Brody Roybal. Lost the handle, but makes a calm play behind his net. Now up the left wing. Hit Bolton. Here's a chance in front. Hobble was lurking as he headed to the front of the net. Grove's going to bank it off the boards, and out it comes to center. Just over 5 minutes to play in the 15-minute period here in para ice hockey at the Santa Giulia Arena. Roybal falls. Nice play to Farmer, though. Farmer, though, gets overwhelmed, and it's knocked to the boards, but not out of the zone. Farmer again trying to find it. Kubesh has got it. He'll push it out to center ice.
They're on Farmer instantly.
Well, you gotta be.
Absolutely. That's a game plan for everybody, but nobody can seem to do it.
Guy's got 18 points in 3 games. Here they come again, the Americans with a shot. Select, they score on the rebound. Guess who? Declan Farmer.
I think Farmer must have a lead to our broadcast, because that's exactly what he did. No matter what, you can stop him and stop him and stop him, but you can't stop him forever. Contain him maybe, but not stop him.
Well, and that's a case where it's not him bringing the puck and doing all the things.
Right.
It's him coming in late and doing that.
Yeah, Sedlak would love to have that back. You have to, young goalies. You watch it hit him in the chest. Look at this right here. Right here, it caught him. You have to squeeze that. A lot of goalies do drills where they have hundreds of shots in the chest, have to squeeze the puck in. He squeezes it in, it's a whistle, it leaks out, and boom, Farmer's there like a dog on a bone to put it in.
So Dodson and Eustace are going to pick up the assists.
The next minute is critical for Czechia.
Jack Wallace flips it up off the boards. Dodson got spilled. Zdenek comes to take it, pushes it past Mishevic. Here's Zizlowski now for Czechia. His pass couldn't really get it through. The Americans have it again. Scrambly play here near the Czech blue line. Vesely, he's knocked down. Here comes Dodson buzzing in. Got spun around, loose in the corner. Wallace, the defenseman, who's a long way from his defense spot. Fired off the glass by the Czechs, but not out. Here's Cunningham. Takes it in, works it in for Eustace. Now Dodson calms things down, gives it to Wallace. His centering pass didn't quite work. Here's Cunningham, though. Americans stay on the play. Cunningham in the corner, under pressure from Hetchko. Farmer coming in. He's got the USA goal. We're 1-1. Later stages of the first period. Farmer again. Stick handles, twists, turns. Throws it to the front of the net. Where is it? It is under sleds. Picked up again by Declan Farmer. Up to Wallace. He shoots. That's blocked. And the Czechs are going to probably take another icing here. Indeed, they will, with 2:54 on the clock in the first, a 1-1 tie. What a game.
But they are bottling up the front of the net, trying to make it extremely difficult for U.S. And defenseman Jack Wallace, he is so strong. Here's Dobson with a shot, and right away, Farmer on it. Leaks off the chest, bang, in the net.
Farmer's kind of playing on two different lines, at least in that case, when he scored the goal, he was. Now he's back with his regular line mates, Roybal and Bolton. They battle along the boards. There's Farmer in the corner. They pay such close attention to him. Chance back at the blue line for Pauls. He couldn't shoot it. Three Czechs were there. They couldn't find it. Here's Roybals with a shot. Sedlacek the save. Kept in by USA. Noah Grove snapping a shot that's blocked. Still kept alive by the U.S. Roybal buzzing after it, but it'll be pushed to the blue line, and the Czechs will finally get it out.
Great play by Noah Groves.
There's Declan Farmer dodging that drop stick on the ice. Trying to slide a pass ahead, but it was picked off. Czechia is really battling here for every centimeter of ice. It's launched in. Sedlacek had to be really careful there.
Those are really tricky.
Here's Zizlowski racing ahead. Actually, that's Hobble. Spins around, gets it in the zone. Malik Jones very alertly looks up at the clock. Lots of time to play, Malik. In this period, just under 90 seconds now. Ohar, 22-year-old, playing in his second Paralympics already for Czechia. And he got his pocket picked. And here comes Beasley, and here comes Farmer. In fact, this is Jones, Malik Jones with a shot. So used to Farmer being the guy on the brink.
And Malik Jones is on the end of a long shift. He's really tired there.
Here's Wallace. Good job to protect the puck. His shot is blocked. Evan Nichols spins away from trouble. He centers it in front. Jones tipped it just wide. Here's Wallace at the blue line. Inside of a minute to play in the first. Jones in behind for Wallace. Beasley's going to race after it in the corner. He'll let it go to Cunningham instead. He'll flip it around the boards. USA starting a line change. Here's Farmer again off the bench. Fleet feeds it ahead to Beasley.
Ooh, just missed there.
Left-hand shot would have been good. Nichols. It squirts free for Czechia. They're going to relieve the pressure. And this is not going to go for an icing.
No curling there.
Here's Pauls ahead for Farmer. Hit him in the sled, though. And that one is allowed to go.
Very lucky there. There was no call.
Dolezal from the blue line. Can he loft it in front? Time's going to run out on both teams here in the opening period. Geyer scores first for Czechia. Farmer comes back for the U.S. We're tied at 1 after 1. In semifinal number 1.
You know, I think the coaching staff for both teams are going to find some good things. Little sloppy at the beginning, but Czechia played exactly the way they wanted. It's 1-1 at the end of 1. Sedlacek made some big stops. The problem for them right now is they have to start to contain the U.S. team in their zone, because U.S. is now starting to really move the puck side to side.
So there you go. Geyer at 5:08, Kubish and Capco, and then Farmer about almost exactly 5 minutes later from Dodson and Eustace. Shots favor USA, 10-1. So the only shot for the Czechs found its way into the net, and you really can't blame Griffin Lamar, because it was a great opportunity, and they took advantage of it on the power play.
And that happens a lot with when the U.S. let a goal in. It's usually 2 or 3 shots and 1 goal, and it's a breakdown or a beautiful play. And it was a beautiful play. Geyer's been around a long time. He's a wily veteran for this Czechia team. It was a great play.
Face-off stats slightly favor the Czechs. Both teams gave the other a power play. Czechs capitalized. USA is 0 for 1 in that category. Well, you might say the Americans have all the pressure here. They're expected to win this game. And they had the first couple of opportunities, Paul.
Absolutely. Some real good chances. But Sedlacek, other than the one that I think he'd want back, here's a beautiful one. Breakaway left hand, right hand, back to the right hand. Great glove stop. That goal he really want back. He caught him in the chest and dropped it. Here you go again. And this is the one thing Farmer does so well. He hides the puck, right hand, left hand. He can continuously go back and forth. Who has the goal? You have to guess. And that's the goal. I'm still amazed that Gaia was able to get enough stick on it because the puck was bouncing so hard. I had to feel bad for Lamar. He had no chance at all. Beautiful play.
Gaia was the MVP of the Ostrava World Championships in 2019.
And here's Malik Jones trying to get one out. He just couldn't get enough of it off the side of the net, off the blocker. Jones has come a long way in the last couple of years. He's a threat, and this American team, like you said at the beginning, they have 3 lines that can just continue to come at you. Nichols, good young player, to Beasley, another good young player, trying to just thread that needle a little too much. And there's the goal. Off of the goalie's chest, down, and Farmer's too good when he's in front of the net to put that puck in. Right there, shot, gets big, leaves a rebound, boom! Follow the puck in. If you're new to this game, follow the puck in. You can't score if you're not in front of the net.
Nobody better at scoring than Declan Farmer. Leads the tournament now with 12 goals scored through 3 games and 1 period. It's a 1-1 tie. Second period is almost upon us in this semifinal game between Team USA and Team Czechia. Rob Snook alongside Paul Rosen, the 2006 Paralympic champion in para ice hockey. In that opening period, Czechs managed just one shot on the American net, but they were successful. Michal Geyer scores a power play goal, his third of the tournament, from Kubesh and Kapko. As we see the beautiful views outside the Milano Santa Giulia ice hockey arena, and the beautiful views inside as well. Over 3,000 tickets sold for this game. We've had crowds as big as 8,900 in the facility, expecting more of that as the tournament continues into the medal round games. Geyer from Kubesh and Kapko, and then Declan Farmer responds for the U.S. from Travis Dodson and David Eustace. It's, you're mentioning, it's one thing to get a lead on USA. That's happened a few times in this tournament, but never a two-goal lead.
I can't remember the last time they were down 2-0. They just seem to take it to another level. And I think the biggest test for Team Czechia right now is the first 5 minutes. I'm sure Coach David Hoff calmed his team down, said, we're here for a reason, forget about that one goal, let's get back to our game, we've got a lot of pressure on them, let's be smart, let's move the puck smart, and I think you're going to see defenseman Jack Wallace really start to take control in this second period.
Wallace, the leading point getter for defensemen in the tournament, 10 points in 3 games plus a period. There's Declan Farmer. He has the only goal. Now has his 12th goal, scored that in the first period.
When you think about it, and you think about Declan Farmer, we've done the entire tournament, and you have a few players, Nikolandros Jopa from Slovakia, who have played 40 or 45 minutes of a 45-minute game. Farmer plays 18, no more than 20.
Yeah.
And the things he does with limited ice time, it's incredible.
And playing him less through the round robin has allowed them now today to have a fresh Declan Farmer. And interestingly enough, Paul, he did have the most ice time of any, frog in my throat, of anyone in that opening period, with more than 10 minutes of the 15. So.
And that comes from smart coaching and planning, and that's what the U.S. team does.
USA returning 13 players from the team that won gold in Beijing 4 years ago. The Czechs returning 10 players from the team that was 6th 4 years ago in Beijing. Here we go, second period action. USA in blue, Czechia in white. Semi-final time. The winner heads to the gold medal game, of course, in Milano Cortina 2026, and the puck shot into the USA bench by one of the Czech players. They'll bring the face-off to the right of the Czech net, which is being guarded by Patrick Sedlacek.
That was a quick whistle. 7 seconds into the period.
Declan Farmer on the ice. Nobody's surprised about that. He'll go against Zeslavsky. And Zeslavsky from his belly is going to send the puck down the ice. Teams are at full and even strength, though, to start this period. Here's Farmer. Spins away from a check. There's always a way out for Declan Farmer. This time he mishandles it, but even then, he gets it to Grove, and he'll fire it in. He made sure he got across the center red line.
That's the difference between him and a lot of players. Ooh, almost too many men there. Just missed the sled of the American. No icing.
Josh Pauls goes back to get it. He'll slide it ahead for Farmer. Out of Tampa Bay, Florida, Declan Farmer. Most people think he's the best player on the planet. Here comes Jack Wallace, they think he's the best defenseman. Wallace busting in, and he couldn't get a shot clear through to the net. Wallace said when he played in his first games, these are his third, it was just sort of happy to be there. Not a big responsibility, but things change when you're in your third games. Huge responsibility on Wallace. He leads the team over the tournament in ice time. 24 minutes average He'll launch that one down the ice. It's going to miss everybody, and this will be an icing against the U.S. We've only said that in this tournament about 4 times.
Yeah, and that was a very unusual type of pass for the U.S. defenseman. Normally, they don't go for that long stretch pass from one end to the other. They carry the puck a lot, and that's what's hard to stop them, because they do carry it from their zone into the middle of the ice, the neutral zone. That's the most important part of the ice.
Farmer against Hobble. Farmer wins the draw. Wallace goes to get it in the corner. Here's Dodson. Off the boards for Eustace. They both set up Farmer earlier. Here comes Farmer again, looking for more. Declan Farmer twisting and turning. Couldn't shoot it, but he's drawn a penalty. It's going to be against Czechia. It'll be a hooking penalty.
And this is what Farmer's speed and his agility does. He takes the puck, he comes outside. Geyer forces him as far as he possibly can to the outside, but he has to take him down. Here it is right here. It looks like Hobble. Hobble takes him with the front of his sled. You can't stop him. You force him, and his speed and his smarts just force you to take him out. And now it's another power play for Team USA.
Czechia did kill off the first USA penalty, but you don't want to go to this well if you don't have to. Here's Wallace. Bit of room. He shoots, snapped it wide, maybe looking for a rebound off the end boards, and Sedlacek just pounces on it.
The one thing that Czechia did in the first power play, and they've started so far here, they're closing up the front of the net. They're making it impossible. You have to go out wide, and I don't think you're going to beat Sedlacek from a wide shot.
Zizlowski takes all the key face-offs right now, it seems, for Czechia. Here's Farmer. Lets it go to Pauls. Back to Farmer. Got a bit of room. Snaps one high. Just, I think, off the blocking arm of Zdenek.
And we've talked about that. When you miss the net on that shot, it rims around and it's right out.
Farmer back in his own corner. He's going to pick up the puck. He's got a long way to go to the other net, but he'll make it up in a hurry. Here he comes. Farmer still going, still moving, and huge save by Zdenek.
Oh, it's on the top of the net.
By Lepacek, rather. Sedlacek. And he's going to hold on to it. Or at least it's going to be drawn down for a whistle.
That was a great play. It looked like the blocker, but it might have been his shoulder. Goes up in the air, and those are scary for a goalie. You don't know where they are. It comes down on the top of the net. It could have come down, hit him in the back, and gone in. Here it is right here. Oh, right off the blocker. Great play.
I think Farmer knew he was going to shoot that, but he does the look across anyway. Zizlowski under pressure, can't get it. Yes, he can get it out. Good second effort by Zizlowski. Mishevitz deep in his own end. He's playing on the power play here. Up ahead for Wallace. He lost it, but Farmer's going to pick it up. Avoids the hit from Golazal. Left there for Zizlowski. I'm not sure if it was done on purpose by Zelenka, but it worked out.
Great play with patience. They're waiting, and then firing it all the way down.
Czechia, the bronze medalist at the last 3 World Championships. USA won 2 of those 3. Zizlowski grabs the puck again, banks it off the boards, and Farmer's going to be the first man back. Just 20 seconds left in the U.S. power play.
Czechia's played great shorthanded. They may want to try shorthanded the whole game.
Here's Josh Pauls across the blue line. He's got help with him. He makes the play. Here's Mishevitz with a shot, and where is it? It's tied up in Sedlacek's gear.
It's funny, we talked about Mishevitz. He's missed the full preliminary round. Comes in here, he's been on this team for a while. He's a very tough player. He can play physical, and here's an opportunity. His first action. Nice stop. He doesn't know where it is, actually, Sedlacek. Tied up in his paraphernalia.
There you go. I don't think people realize how much paraphernalia goaltenders wear, but you can imagine that these guys aren't nearly as big as they look.
No.
Here's Cunningham, launches one on net. Blocker save. And they've killed off the penalty. They are 2 for 2 in that department. So right now, Czechia is winning the special teams battle, the only team to score against the U.S. in the power play in this tournament. And we're tied 1-1. 4 minutes into the second period. Here come the Czechs, looking for something good to happen. Ohar deals it off. Now across the ice. Kapko couldn't catch up to it, but his teammates do. Ohar from his belly slides it for Kubesh. Ohar with one stick. Works it back to Vesely. Pavel tries to throw it in front. Czechs are scrambling here. USA trying to take advantage. Malik Jones in for Beasley. And he's knocked off the puck. Kubesh is going to go back for it. He'll launch it down the ice. And this will mean the Czechs are going to have to face off. And this group that's tired is going to have to stay out there.
The Czechs have come out in this second period with a very physical brand of play. And it's making it difficult for these passes to go through. Nice blocker stop, and that is, for young goalies, that's a transition blocker stop. Instead of just making the blocker stop, he pushed it so it allows his defense to go forward and get out of the zone. Very smart play.
Yeah, you've got that thing. You might as well direct it.
Absolutely.
To where you want it to go. Here's Farmer. Under pressure, but spins away from Vesely. Spins away from Habel. Into the slot, gets a shot. Rebound comes loose. Eustace jams it in, he scores!
And that's the one thing about this American team again. They take advantage of little things. It just bounces off the side of the boards, hits the back of Sedlacek's pad, it looked like, and just snuck in. It doesn't matter how pretty they are, it just matters if it crosses the line.
Well, remember, that was the same group of players on Czechia that had to be tired. They would have maybe liked to get off.
Great point. Right off the boards, just flipped it in and just snuck through the pad. An old veteran player of this game told me a long time ago, it doesn't matter how you get it in, just get it in.
Wise words. David Eustace now has 6 goals in the tournament. Second on the team only to Declan Farmer, who did pick up an assist on that, by the way. Here comes the U.S. again, back in. This is when they're dangerous. Already the lead, now they're looking for more. Dodson. Pauls, or at least, here's Farmer, and he scores! 3-1!
The onslaught now continues, and this is what is so good and so hard to contain the U.S. You get up 1-0, you think you've got it, they score, and then they score, and then they score. What a beautiful pass. Look at this pass from Useless over to Farmer. Farmer waits, that's the key. He could have shot it immediately, and you never know. But he waited, he looked, he had the whole top corner. Sedlacek had to go down. Look at it here. Just perfect, absolutely perfect. A goal scores goal. Patience, Rob.
I was just thinking to myself, I wonder if the Czechs would think about calling a timeout, and that is exactly what Jakub Novotny has just done. The 32-year-old head coach brings his players over, has some words of wisdom, but maybe more than anything else just says, guys, take a breath, pick up where we left off before these 2 goals were scored.
Yeah, and this is when you're playing a team as good as the U.S. 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 6, and before you know it, you're down by 7.
They were down 4-1 against the Americans last year at the Worlds. They got 2 back to get it to within 1. So they'll be trying to channel their 2025 Worlds selves. USA keeps Declan Farmer out there with Bolton and Roybal. Farmer launches it in. Pauls comes off his defense position to dance through the zone to get after it, and he's slammed into by Hetchko. Americans are going to keep the play alive with Josh Pauls. Dishes it off into the corner for Wallace. Takes a look. Long pass to the blue line for Pauls. Snaps it right into the midsection of Sedlacek, who's going to hold it.
That is a very tricky play because it's coming out with heavy speed to the point. Here's the play again. Great play, great shot, great pass, great goal. But that play from the point, from the back end to the point, that is a very hard pass. And if he doesn't, if Pauls doesn't lasso that, if he doesn't get control of that, it's gone and a possible breakaway for Hedgeco. And Hedgeco's had a great tournament. I've really been impressed with his physical play. He's taken a couple of silly penalties, but when you play physical in this game, you're sort of on the edge. You're walking a tightrope.
So Jakub Novotny hoping that break that he gave his team along with the TV timeout is going to help his team settle down, refocus, and get right back in the fight here against the U.S. But David Hoff is going to like the recent turn of events.
He never really changes his facial expression. They're up by 7 or down by 1. He's got that stoic face.
This forward unit, well, this is actually a different line. As we've been mentioning, Farmer playing on 2 different lines. And the line with Farmer, Dodson, and Eustace has been excellent. Here's Farmer again. Doesn't matter who he plays with. He launches that one over top of the net.
Such good power with left and right hand.
Czechia scored the first goal of this game, but it's been 3 for USA since then. Josh Pauls heads back in his own zone, and because that missed the net and goes all the way across the end line, it's going to be an icing call against Team Czechia.
Josh Pauls flips the puck up, as we saw in the last couple of games. A lot of players can do that now. Back in the day, nobody could do it. I can guarantee you that. Players tried and tried and tried. Also, the equipment has changed. We talked about that. The sticks. A stick now compared to a stick 15 years ago. Wow.
Sticks have got to be multifaceted. Players do a lot of work on their own sticks. You don't just buy it off the shelf. A lot of work gets done on them personally. Same with the blades, same with the skates. You gotta have a great equipment manager on these teams who has the trust of the players. Here's Cunningham, he'll flip it off the boards. Kubas stops it for Czechia, trying to get something going on offense again. Their only offensive real flourish was a power play in the first period. And here come the Americans, though, the other way with Beasley. He's got Wallace with him on the rush. Wallace drops it back for Cunningham. Didn't get much on it. He'll get his own rebound, though. Tries to jam it in on the wraparound, and Sedlacek's going to reach over and cover it. Czechs still don't have a shot on goal in the period. The Americans have 9.
Wallace a little upset with the referee there. He thought there should have been a penalty as he tried to get that puck over to Beasley. He got a little bit of a stick in the midsection, and that, I'm telling you, that hurts.
U.S. is going to need somebody to take the face off. Dodson now works his way in. It was making sure that I think somebody who's adjusting his gear was ready. Good sportsmanlike thing because it was one of the opponents. Here's Noah Grove in the corner. Slides it in for Mishevich. His pass comes all the way back to the blue line for Pauls. Be surprised if USA has either Pauls or Farmer on for most of this game, one or the other, or sometimes both. Such valuable players to this team. Noah Grove spins with the check, gets it back to the blue line for Eustace. His shot is caught and held by Sedlacek. Gotta watch out for David Eustace, a goal and 2 assists in the game.
Yeah, he's going to be tough to watch because you have to watch the big three. You have to watch Pauls, you have to watch Farmer and Wallace, and then a guy like Useless just comes out of nowhere and makes some incredible plays. But you talk about a Josh Pauls, and his role has changed so much. Vancouver 2010, he wins his first. He's trying for his 5th in a row here, the captain, but he plays a little bit of a different game now.
Well, and the Americans have, in some ways, sort of discarded the positions. 2 defense, 3 forwards. It's not really that all the time.
No, it's a 5-man unit with them.
It's almost like the way basketball has changed positions over the years. Here come the USA. Here's Declan Farmer busting in, dancing in, tries a centering pass. That gets broken up. Kubesh gets it off the boards and kept in, says the linesman, just barely.
It's going to be another icing.
And it will be another icing with 6:33 to go.
The one thing I've noticed with Farmer now is when he's coming down, unlike the last couple of games where he might have busted from the side in and tried to score, he's trying to get the puck to one of his teammates now for a nice little dish-off goal.
Linesmen in our game today, Dylan Dauphiny and Andreas Lunden, one from Canada, one from Sweden. And of course, the man with the orange armband is Matthew Fergenbaum, Canadian. Here's a centering pass, Bolton. Couldn't reach it. We banked off the boards to center. Vesely, he gets knocked down, just flattened. Following up on the play, Hetchko to the net. Lamar saves it and then pounces on it with Zinslowski coming in like a freight train looking for it.
That might not even be counted as a shot because he came out to stop. Well, it is a shot.
There you go.
But he got to touch the puck. He's probably going, give me at least something.
Come on, guys.
Something.
Let them shoot it from the blue line.
Yeah, I'm a part of this team, too.
So the shot's now 11-1 in this period in favor of USA. They have the only 2 goals. Eustace is 6th of the tournament. Farmer, his 13th goal of the tournament, 2nd of the game. Jack Wallace has the puck. Best defenseman at last year's World Championships. Look at this. Oh, it looked like it was heading through to Bolton.
I thought it was.
Good play by the Czechs to break that up.
Hitchko with another big hit.
Ohar. And it's sent in long range. Dolezal leaves it there for Havel. Zelinka in behind the net. The captain of Team Czechia, who leads the team in points and in ice time. Havel, pass to center, intended for Zelinka. He's going to miss him, but Zelinka turns on the Jets and negates the icing.
Great speed.
Here's Havel with a shot. Lamar the save. Rebound bouncing around in front. Zelinka, here's another chance for Hetchko. Best flourish of the period for Czechia. No shots recorded, but never mind, they're all around the net.
No, but that was a great chance for Griffin Lamar to actually look at the play, see the puck, find the rebound, and get on top of it. And, he needs that. You need a little bit of action. Nice play.
They have now given a shot to the Czechs for that.
Lamar making the long trek in the 2nd period to the bench. A lot of goalies don't do that. There's a little bit of puck magic by Sedlacek. Here's a hit. Bolton pushes with the hand. Good lucky there. When you push with the hand to the back, you could get called there.
Someone asked me earlier today, are the rink boards always see-through like that, the plexiglass, and of course only for this game, the para ice hockey game a few weeks ago at the Olympics? No, they would have been solid, colored boards, can't see through them.
And they only do it for para at the World Championships or the Paralympics because it is something that it's not easy to just change it back and forth, so they do it for the big events.
And they also have, they like to put ice in the benches if they can, but it's logistically a tricky thing to do at a lot of arenas, and they can't do it everywhere.
It's only happened once before in the Vancouver 2010 Paralympics at UBC Arena.
Here comes Declan Farmer to center. He's got 2 goals for the U.S. They lead it by 2. Here they come again, looking for more.
Little too fancy there.
Mikhail Geyer. He's going to get the return pass, chops it across. Intended for Zizlowski. Czechs looking to get a couple of shifts put together that they can be effective. Here, but here's a chance for the Americans with Farmer. Almost had another hat trick.
You notice how Sedlacek gets up on his sort of like on his pad and makes that great stop.
Kubash, he got a little miscommunication there with his teammate. Does get it to the blue line, but not out. Declan Farmer has it underneath him, and it's going to squirt out past the blue line. Just over 4 minutes to go, second period. Czechs scored the first goal of the game. The U.S. has scored 3 since in this semifinal. The winner will play the winner of the Canada-China game, i.e. semifinal number 2. Here is Tabo, fights off a couple of Czechs, but eventually Nichols is going to take over, and almost stolen by Czechia. Flipped out to center ice. Eustace, 3 points in the game already, but this is going to be blown down on the offside.
I can guarantee you that Coach David Hoff will actually talk to this team about some sloppy passes inside the defensive zone, something that the U.S. does not do very often. That's a great blocker arm, top arm save. Waits, the patience is incredible. Look how high he gets. Up on the pad, his sled is up in the air. Very difficult to do. Only a few goalies in the world can do that. Corbin Watson for Canada does it.
Czechia won the face-off, but here's a chance for Wallace the other way. On the breakaway, Jack Wallace drops it back to Beasley. Beasley shoots, and he's stopped. Not sure if Wallace meant to do that.
No, that bounced. That puck bounced off his stick.
He had help on that breakaway. That'll be one that he'll like to have back if he could. Dolezal dealing with Wallace. Czechs are going to get it just past the blue line.
Big hit by young Cunningham there.
And that was, well, I don't know. It kind of left an arm out, dragged an arm out, the Czech player did on that one. Here's Ohar, spins, nice play to protect the puck, feeds Zelinka. Czechia's captain, now to center ice. Try to dish it off for Vesely, easily read by Wallace. He'll dump it in, and then he's smartly taken off the play by Ohar.
Wallace changes up.
Sent to the blue line by the Czechs, but it's kept in. Here's Mishevitz. He's bumped off the puck by Dolezal. Beasley buzzes in after it. Here's Grove. Drops it back to Farmer. Sends it in front for Mishevitz. No doubt they're trying to get Mishevitz in on the scoring for the tournament if they can, but it's covered up by Sedlacek.
That was a nice play, and Sedlacek gets as big as possible to make it almost impossible to go in right there. Gets a little bit of on the left hand, not a lot, but see how his pad is down and he forces you. You can't get it by him on the ground there, on the ice. Stick down, pad down, glove ready to take it if it does go up top. Farmer talking to him.
Here's Grove. Got spun around. Sedlacek just pushes the puck off. It's at the side of his net. He covers it and the loose stick that's there.
Now that's a very smart play. You cannot let the Americans get goal number 4. So anything around, freeze it, take a draw, take a break, give the coach a chance to make a change if he has to, because when you ice the puck, you cannot make a change.
Zizlowski against Farmer. Exactly 2 minutes to go here in the second period. Farmer trying to lead his team to its 5th straight gold medal game at the Paralympic Winter Games. Grove shovels it in. Here's Roybal. He deals it off. for Farmer. He shoots, and Lachuk makes the save. Rebound loose. They jam away in front. Still loose. Here's Roybal thinking about putting it up on his stick. Not this time. Works it in for Farmer. He shoots. Nice blocker save, Sedlacek.
Excellent, excellent save.
And again, pushes it far away. Here's Farmer again, centering attempt. Another chance. And Sedlacek pounces on it with Mishevich right on the edge of the crease. And yes, the nets in para ice hockey are exactly the same size as the Olympic nets.
You can score over a goalie's head in this game and under the crossbar. Can't do that in the able-bodied game, unless the goalie's really small. Sedlacek he is playing incredible. This is 5-6 in this period without him.
He's faced 18 shots in the period. He stopped 16 of them. Here's Eustace. Cunningham. Out of the reach of Wallace, so everybody on USA has to come outside the blue line. Cunningham launches it right back in again. We're inside the final minute of the second period of this first semi-final in Milano Cortina. Quite a battle raging in the corner. Dolezal, he's a tough customer. Here's Farmer, though. Centering attempt. It's going to bounce around. Cunningham had his shot blocked. And he'll just get pushed outside the blue line. Not the play that the Czechs were hoping for with Pechko racing out to center.
Very physical game.
Lots on the line. Win this game, you're guaranteed gold or silver. You lose it, well, you've got to have to fight for bronze. Here comes Farmer right back in again. And good defense again by Czechia. Ohar is going to get it to the blue line, not out. Eustace keeps it in just as the horn sounds to end period number 2. 2 goals in the period, both by USA. They lead it 3-1 after 2.
There's Team USA coming off the ice. They have to feel like they should be up by 5 or 6, and Team Czechia has to be just so grateful to goalie Patrick Sedlacek. They're only one bad mistake away from the U.S. and being in this game, and down 3-1. If they can get that 3-2 goal, anything is possible. Next goal is critical. U.S. goes up 4-1. It's a tough task. But if somehow the Czechia team can get the 3-2 goal, they're back in this game. There's still 15 minutes left.
One thing that we can't overlook about the way the USA plays is discipline. Discipline. They've only taken 1 penalty in this game. They have taken, in terms of minor penalties in this tournament, that is now 5 through almost 4 games. That's it.
Do they get the sportsmanlike award?
Well, I don't mean that. What I'm saying is that's irrelevant. I mean, it's relevant in a lot of ways, but you don't spend any time killing penalties.
Absolutely.
And they got scored on the one time they were short-handed in this game. So that's how it can come back and bite you. And
the one thing that a lot of people don't understand, when you're killing penalties, your lines can't be fluent. So maybe you have 4 guys who kill the penalty totally, and there's a couple guys that are sitting always when there's a penalty kill.
First period saw the teams trade goals, and then in the second, here comes USA with an onslaught on Sedlacek's net. That was one of 18 shots that were fired at Sedlacek.
Comes out, gets as big as possible, forces you to put it in him if you can't put it under the bar.
Then squeezes him.
Smart play.
But you can't stop Declan Farmer all day.
Nope.
Eventually, he or one of his teammates will find a way, like right there. Eustace jams it in on the short side.
Very grateful for that little sneak in, and that's what it was. But, you know, they all count. Look at that. It hit off of Sedlacek's pad and bounced in. Tough break. Right there. He's sliding across to get to the post, to get square, and just leaks in. That was an absolute beautiful goal. Great pass, great patience. A lot of other players might have shot immediately and maybe missed the net or hit Sedlacek, but he waits, takes that extra second, and fires it under the bar.
Well, he makes it look so easy, Paul. When you first put one of those pucks on your stick and you're on a sled, what do most people the first time look like?
Well, they look like they're just trying the game for the first time. It's on the ice. They can't get it up. There's no way.
Takes a long time, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's another solid save by Sedlacek.
Sedlacek used to be a skater, by the way, in the game, and then he's converted into a really good goaltender.
And he's still very new to the game. Like I've said a few times, I've had a chance to talk to him a couple of times. He's a nice kid. And he is a kid, 24 years old. Look at the smile on Declan Farmer's face.
Princeton graduate out of Tampa Bay, Florida, Declan Farmer. His team leads in the semifinal 3-1 over Czechia. period almost upon us at the Milano Cortina 2026 Para Ice Hockey Tournament at the Santa Giulia Arena. Rob Zoop alongside Paul Rosen, who won a gold medal for Canada in 2006 in Torino, the last time the Paralympic Winter Games were held in Italy. And we're getting set for the third with USA leading Czechia 3-1. Czech scored first in the first period, a power play goal by Mikhail Geyer from Kubesh and Kapko. But since then, it's been all USA, and particularly all Declan Farmer, David Eustace, and Travis Dodson. They have supplied all of the points for the Americans in this 3-1 lead.
Remind me, Rob, Torino was 20 years ago, correct?
And then what did I say?
No,
20, yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Yeah,
You get old.
Yes.
The key, I think, to this third period is Czechia has to start to take some chances. They have to create a mistake by the U.S. team inside their zone. They've been a little bit sloppy inside their zone as Czechia comes out on the ice right now. But the star of the game so far has been number 92, Patrick Sedlacek.
28 shots fired at his net, and he has made 25 saves, giving players like Zelinka a chance in this game. But they need something good to happen.
And if you're new to the game of para hockey and you've watched able-bodied hockey for years, either the men's game or the women's game, 28 shots might not seem like a lot in the able-bodied game, but in para hockey, 28 shots is close to 50.
But we're seeing that more and more.
Yes.
I'm finding we've had some 50-shot games in this game.
Which is unheard of.
Czech started the tournament with a little bit of a scare when they fell behind against Japan twice, came back to win that one 3-2, beat Slovakia handily, and then lost to Canada 4-1 in their final pool play game. For the U.S., they have made fairly easy work, I guess you could say, against Italy, Germany, and China. China gave them thought they might give them a bit of a scare, but they really didn't. Ended up 7-1. They're trying to go to 4-0 and a spot in the gold medal game. A spot in the gold medal game on the line. Third period. Czechia in white, USA in blue. Josh Paul's the American captain, pushes it, but Zizlowski kept it in. And now it will come to center ice with Brody Roybal. Got around one man, curls with the puck, slides it deep into the corner. Bolton races after it. Farmer with a really hard hit. Farmer has led everyone in this game in ice time. That's the first time in the tournament you could say that. Farmer now fishes it out of the corner, slides a pass in for Roybal. Pauls didn't want to shoot it from a bad angle. Here's Roybal.
Smart play.
Got around Zizlowski. Farmer doesn't see it in the corner. Now he does. Tries to thread the needle, work it through. It comes to Grove. Noah Grove doesn't want to shoot it. USA starting to change their players, and onto the ice and onto the puck goes David Eustace.
And that's what the U.S. is going to do this period. They're going to try to keep the puck in the Czechia zone, and when they keep it in, they're going to change it up.
Here they come with the great Declan Farmer. Slides it in for Wallace. His shot stopped. Rebound loose. Wonder if that's part of the USA strategy. Get shots at Sedlacek that he can't corral so that rebounds will come.
Farmer stayed out there. He's out for his second line. Now he's playing on line 1 and line 2.
Here comes Wallace. Just out of the reach of Eustace. This line has provided all of the scoring for the Americans. They're coming again with Wallace off the side of the net. Might have even glanced the goalpost. Dodson in the corner. Kicked in by Cunningham at the blue line. He'll send it around the other side. Eustace, first man on it. Geyer watching him. 2 minutes gone by, third period. Puck sent on Sedlacek's net, and that was a little bit of an adventure but he holds on.
That's where Sedlacek put his stick paddle down the wrong way, and it can hit the paddle, and you don't know where it's going. If you have it the right way, where you're holding it with the blocker, you know where it's going. It's in front of you. You have full control. That way it kicks off the back or the heel of the paddle, and boy, it can cause trouble.
Declan Farmer's going to get a bit of a breather on the USA bench. Nichols, Jones, and Beasley, the forward unit for the Americans right now. Czechia trying to get something organized. Zizlowski just flips a pass to center. Didn't have much authority on it. It was intercepted. He's got it again. Misses Hetchko, but he follows up with it. Hetchko jams on the brakes, looks for some help. His pass. Good job by Jones to get in the passing lane. Here's Zizlowski. Zizlowski with a shot off the side of the net. It's not going to count as a shot on net, even though it hit the net. Vesely off the boards for Zelinka. Got to be careful. Nice play to get it around Beasley. Here's Vesely. Trying to make a play through, but it was intercepted by the U.S. A chance to clear it, and they will, just outside the blue line. Dolezal couldn't reach that pass. Vesely blew a tire. Big collision there. Veshko and Paul slam into each other. Noah Groves, nice play to make get possession of it. Here's Zizlowski. He's going to head to the bench after shooting that one in. He's tired.
Heavy forecheck by the Czechia team inside the U.S. zone, and that's where they're making U.S. make mistakes and lose the puck. And here it goes again.
Michael Geyer steals it, but he couldn't find anybody to pass it to. Brody Roybal is going to go back and collect it for the U.S.
A little sloppy in the zone.
Here's Wallace. Buzzing down the right side, throws it out front, right on net. It went off Kubash, and Sedlacek makes the save. Kubash will be like, sorry about that.
11-11 left in the third period. Make a wish, Rob.
Just won a great game. That's always my wish.
And that's what we're having so far. The wish has come true.
And world peace as well, of course.
Okay.
Zizlowski. That was pretty good.
Yes, and you know what? If he could have got it on net there, it would have got in.
Mikhail Geyer, the only goal for the Czechs in the game, couldn't get it out. Geyer again. Now Kopko banks it off the boards, but Roybal there. USA so quick in their sleds to get in those passing lanes and clearing lanes. Here's Farmer, and he launches one over the net with the left hand. Geyer just rims it around the boards. Kubash now reaching for it. Ohar, and they'll be flipped out to center ice by Czechia.
Farmer does so many great things with using the defenseman's back.
Here's Mikhail Geyer. They'll get it across the blue line. You can just see the Americans 3-4 back every time the Czechs get a chance. Zelinka, he's being hounded by Farmer. Be careful. And Farmer's going to knock it away from him. Stops up in behind the net. Zizlowski under pressure from Roybal. Kept alive by USA. Here's Noah Grove. Slides it back in behind the net. Zizlowski gets to it. In for Geyer. Couldn't handle the pass, just out of his reach. Farmer. Rashevitz. Paul scores. Josh Paul's roll on the blocker side. Sneaks it past Sedlacek. 4-1 USA.
The one thing about Josh Pauls, he might not score the way he scored in years gone by, but he scores big goals. He scored goals when his team needs it, and here it is right here. Declan Farmer over to Pauls, to his left hand, slides it along the ice. Very tricky spot. Almost impossible for Sedlacek to stop. Smart play, right hand waits, under the sled, How smart is that? Under the sled and then along the ice and in. You don't have to go under the bar all the time. And now Czechia is in trouble.
Well, you said how important that next goal was going to be. And also, you've been pointing out how good Sedlacek is with the shots that are up high. And Paul's not his first rodeo. He saw that, so he decides to go the other way, down low.
You also have an enormous amount of good coaching on the bench. And there is, I can guarantee you, there's one coach on every bench who's looking at things like that. And he'll go up to a Paul or a Wallace and say, hey, listen, let's go low. He's stopping everything up high. Let's push the puck low. Let's give him an opportunity to not know where we're going.
Right, then the next time high maybe works. 4-1 USA leads. We're 5.5 minutes into the third period in this semi-final game in Milano Cortina.
I know it's 4-1, and you might think 4-1's a big score. Czechia coming into this game, if you told them there was 9 minutes left, it was 4-1, and they were playing the way they wanted to play, I think they'd be actually happy. Yeah, of course you always want to win the game, but this is a progression with Czechia, and they still have a great opportunity to win a bronze medal.
I think they'd have been happier 2 minutes ago when it was 3-1.
Yeah, maybe that fourth goal might have made them a little upset. It was a great goal, though.
Yeah, oh, for sure. No, not to take anything away. And by the way, Farmer's got 4 points in the game. 2 goals and 2 assists now.
Would you expect anything else?
And he's got 22 points in the tournament.
That has to be a Paralympic record.
Playing in his 4th game. Eustace slides the puck in the corner. Zelinka goes back for it. Hechko. It's intercepted. Here they come again, the Americans. And Mishevitz got upended. No penalty coming on the play, though.
Mishevitz has actually played quite a game, considering the fact that he hasn't been in action yet this tournament. It's not easy to sit and sit and sit. I wouldn't be surprised if he would be in the gold medal game with the way he plays.
USA 9 minutes, 17 seconds away from booking their ticket into that game. Czechia might have some other ideas. They got 2 back against USA, and they were down 4-1 at World Championships last year. Made it interesting at the end. Here's Pauls, their last goal scorer. His centering pass broken up. See if Czechia can get some numbers. That's part of the problem. Here's Geyer. Needs somebody heading to the net. He gets it to Ohar. He's going to race after it with Pauls on him. Ohar back to Geyer. To the blue line for Kapko. Rimmed around the boards. Kubas trying to get after it for Czechia. Flows it in front of the net. A little bit of a circus there. At least Kapko keeps it in at the blue line. Now it's going to be brought to center ice by Josh Pauls. Ahead for Nichols. He gets spun around. Here's a chance for Beasley. His shot is stopped. And the rebound collected by Sedlacek.
And that all starts from team defense. They have everybody back in the zone. Smart play. As soon as the team defense gets the puck, transition up into offense. And that's why they're so good. Another high shot, another great stop. Beasley didn't get the memo, go low.
Sedlacek was more or less ready for that one. He's faced 33 shots, stopped 29 of them. Kept in smartly at the blue line by Wallace. Now onto the stick of Declan Farmer. Slides it across the crease. Roybal was lurking at the side of the net. Broken up. Here come the Czechs to center, but it's just a race for it. Hechko and Cunningham slam into each other. Hechko gets run into by Wallace. Dolezal's going to keep it in for Czechia. We've got penalties coming here, 2 of them, I think. And it's going to be roughing and roughing both players. It'll be equal.
I like that penalty.
4-on-4 hockey coming up.
I thought originally they were going to just give it to Hechko, but then Jack Wallace gave him a little bit of that flub. Here it is right here.
Nothing wrong with that part.
Sliding elbow, but it was okay.
Well, it's this, I think, that just after the puck went.
Wallace and Farmer, the king of social media, I think.
Oh, Farmer's been just on fire with this. And all the explanation videos are just so good. And for the best player in a sport to take his time and energy and do that just says so much about wanting to sell the game.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep putting it out there. We want to see a professional league develop in this sport. It would be just phenomenal.
I agree.
Dolezal, try to get a stick on it. So the teams are at 4-on-4. Lots of room to skate out there for players like Declan Farmer. He sends it to the net. Sedlacek to save with Paul's right on the edge of his crease.
You know the great thing about what Farmer is doing? I've been around this game for 26 years now, and I'm learning a few things when I see Farmer doing things, because every day, every month, every year, things change. So if you get stuck in the dinosaur section, you're going to get lost. So I love it. I've learned a few things.
We like to go to the dinosaur exhibits and things like that, but we don't want to be stuck there.
No.
Here's Brody Roybal. Does well to hold off. In front is Farmer looking for the hat trick. Boom! In the net. Declan Farmer. He's got the hat trick. 5-1 USA.
The crazy thing about this is Czechia has played a good game. They really have. If you didn't watch the game and you look at the score, but they really have played a good game, and still the U.S., when they've had to, have made the most incredible plays. The best player in the world, Declan Farmer, 5 points on 5 goals. Unbelievable. It's just the patience. This is what he does so well. How do you defend this?
You love that.
That was a great pass by Roybal. Right hand over to the left hand. Sedlacek, you have to feel bad for him. And I know there's 7 minutes left, but I think the ticket is punched.
So that begs the question, what do you think about, what do you work on if you're Czechia here in the last 7 minutes?
I think you want to win the 7 minutes. You want to at least keep it 0-0.
Or maybe
try to score one, of course.
Farmers gets upended, and he's drawn another penalty. USA has the goaltender out for an extra attacker. Zelenka touches the puck, though, so Eustace won't have a chance to jump in on the play.
And this is what speed does again. He has the puck, his speed starts to get him going in the middle of the ice, and the captain has to pull him down. Right here, takes it, just gets a hold, gets his stick underneath him. That'll be a tripping penalty.
It's interesting because Declan Farmer was showing in one of his explanation videos, because a lot of people don't think you can trip in para hockey, but you can, and we just saw a good example of it.
It was one that I thought for years was the only penalty that wasn't in the same as the able-bodied game, and I was wrong.
Well, a lot of them at this tournament, that's for sure. Bill Grove's got the puck. Back to Farmer, into the middle, lands up the stick of Josh Pauls. Back to Grove at the blue line. 4-on-3 power play. That's a lot of fun. You get lots of ice to work with. You got an extra attacker. Here's Farmer. The left hand flips it high. Pauls picks it up. Sedlacek still on his game. Here's Roybal. Here's Grove, and he scores! What a beautiful goal. Noah Grove.
That's just beautiful pinpoint passing, tic-tac-toe. Just like you're sitting down and playing chess, you know exactly where the next move is. Here it is right here. Farmer slips it down to Roybal, to Grove, and Grove just slides it under. No cel. This is what I like too. No celebrating. You look at Grove's face. Just Sedlacek's pad just lifts up a little. Grove has a face like, I've done it before. I'll do it again.
6th point, by the way, for Declan Farmer. He picks up the 2nd assist on that goal, but it still counts as an assist, of course, and a point. So 6 points and his team's 6 goals.
Where is he at points now in the tournament?
He's at 24 points in 4 games.
It's incredible.
Some players go a whole career with 24 points.
You're right about that.
And have a good career. Maybe a defenseman, a stay-at-home defenseman. Playing at a few tournaments.
He can be the first para-hockey player to be inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? And he's still only in his 20s. So USA is just minutes away now from earning a spot in their 5th consecutive gold medal final and 6th overall. Here's Hobble. Tries to feed a pass, but there's nobody there who can catch up to it. Winner of this game will play for gold. The loser will go in the bronze medal game. It looks like Czechia. We don't know who they're going to play. We don't know for sure they're going to go, unless they pull off a magic trick, though, here. Eustace, big part of the USA scoring in this game with a 3-point effort. Going to be sent down the ice. Hetchko's going to race after it. He's going to have to go retrieve it in the corner, though. Bolton racing after him. Good collision there. Not sure if Hetchko loved the hit.
Good, solid contact right now.
Here's Kubash. He's got Hetchko lurking at the side of the net. Griffin Lamar was ready for it, but they couldn't freeze that puck.
But he did see what was happening there. The Czechia player slipped down a little too far.
Capco at the blue line. He filters it to the front of the net, but not really a shot. And Hobble's going to go back. He's being watched by Eustace. Just over 4 minutes to play in the 3rd period.
This heavy forecheck by the U.S. is so hard to get out of.
Josh Pauls just shovels it ahead. Remember the quote from Josh Pauls after the last game. We're going to be a hard team to beat because we can roll 3 lines and we wear teams down. And the wearing down is very evident right now.
Absolutely. Beasley drops a stick, goes back and picks it up.
We didn't make too big of a point of it, but Brodie Roybal essentially guaranteed a win after the last game. He said, from here, it's win or go home. We want to be in that gold medal game. We're going to win the next one, meaning this game against Czechia. And they are well on their way to doing that.
Pulling an old Mark Messier.
Just over 3 to go here in the 3rd. Malik Jones got it to the front of the net. Now Beasley after it. He's going to squirt free, but Paul's waiting at the blue line. Now Bolton takes it. He launches one on net. Sedlacek says, thanks, that's good for my save percentage, and I'll grab that one. Not that goalies ever think about stats.
No, never. Absolutely never. They don't have them, like, put up on a wall.
They have no idea
piece of paper by their bedroom, you know. No, absolutely not.
None of them.
Never heard of that before. There's been some incredible goaltending in this tournament. I would hate to be the one that has to pick the best goalie in this tournament. You know, you've had Corbin Watson, who's played really well. He hasn't had a ton of shots. Lepacek, other than that last game, has had a really good tournament. If I had to pick right now, it has to be Sedlacek for me. But they haven't asked me for my opinion.
No, they haven't. It's funny.
They might. I'm waiting.
He'd like to have that one back, but he'd like to have all 6 of them back.
Yeah, you can't fault him.
USA goals in this game: Farmer in the 1st, Farmer in the 2nd, Farmer in the 3rd, and then a few other players: Eustace, Walls, and Grove.
If they do want to get in touch with me, they can call me at 1-800-OLD-GOALIE.
Never mind. Old fogey. Okay.
Old goalie.
Old goalie. Okay.
Yeah, 1-800-OLD-GOALIE.
Somebody will be doing that right now. Malik Jones. Nice drop pass there for Wallace. Bolton. Wallace goes after it again. He has strangely been held off the score sheet in this game. I thought he was going to try the old Michigan trick where you flip it up on your stick, but no. Here's Cunningham.
Possession game now.
Wallace. Teams are at even strength, but USA is making it look like a power play. Beasley buzzes after it, gets to it. He's really quick. Cunningham sends it all the way across. Farmer races to it. Working on a 6-point game is Declan Farmer.
Another change by US.
Wallace with a long cross ice pass. Finds Grove, who scored a really nice goal not too long ago. Here's Farmer. Leaves it there for Roybal. Nice little move to shake off a check. Slides it back to Pauls in front of the net. Farmer snaps it over top of the deflection. Looking for sweet Georgia Brown to start playing because they look like the Harlem Globetrotters there.
We've seen that a few times. I love that song.
So we're inside of 90 seconds to play in this semifinal game. And the U.S. is on its way to play in the final yet again. Last couple times they've met Czechia, they've been a little closer games. Czechs, unless they can get something going here, it's going to be a pretty big spread when all is said and done. But it was 1-1 after the first. Here's Dodson, sends it to the blue ice, and it'll be covered up by Patrick Sedlacek, the 23 or 24-year-old. He might have had his birthday this week. 24.
And if we go right back to the very beginning, it was 1-0 for Czechia.
Sure was.
Like Italy, it was 1-0, and then Italy or U.S. had 13 unanswered. They've got 6 unanswered.
Yeah, well, 14. I think they got.
I thought it was 13-1, but it might have been 14-1. When you're up that high, are you counting?
14-1 is how the first one ended. Yeah. There's Wallace launching a shot. Sedlacek the save.
Sedlacek's thinking, come on, guys. Like, please, really? They want 40 shots on goal. They're 39 right now.
Well, if they get 40 and he's able to stop the 40th, that will mean he stopped 34 of 40. Right now he's at 33. Funny, it's good math, eh?
That's excellent.
Very good math. Yeah.
Don't be asking me to do math.
No, I won't do that. Eustace in tight quarters. Again, just pushed at the net. There should be number 40.
It should be. Let's see it change. Will it change?
It was really a pass, but
there you go.
He's got 40.
Bingo.
Bingo, bango, bongo. So an 85% save percentage.
That's not bad.
No, in the game, just in this game alone. Not bad at all. USA maybe looking for one more shot or two. A feisty effort by the Czechs in this game. Took the lead early. They were playing tough. But in the end, overpowered by this mighty American machine that has the full support of USA Hockey. Dodson with it in the corner, and he's going to throw it on net, and Sedlacek had to be ready, and it's all over. USA on its way to the gold medal game again, a 6-1 victory over Czechia.
They had a goal when they came into Milano. The goal was to get back to the gold medal game. The ultimate goal is to drive for 5. We've talked about that since we got here, the drive for 5. They're very close. They are 45 minutes away at some point from the Drive for 5. Coaching staff shaking hands.
What we don't know yet is who USA will meet in the gold medal game. That has yet to be determined. The other semifinal has China against Canada, trying to make its first gold medal game. Canada trying to make its third in a row, but that's to be decided. This one is decided, and USA shaking hands with the Czechs. An impressive 6-1 win led by Declan Farmer with a 6-point effort, including another hat trick. He now has 14 goals in the tournament and 24 points in 4 games.
You see two goalies shaking hands, Patrick Sabatchik and Jed Lee, as the players go through to shake the coaching staff hands, shake the referee hands.
Well, the Czechs have recovered in recent years at World Championships after losing their semifinal, bounced right back to be ready for the bronze medal game. They've won 3 straight, and they're going to try to take the bronze in a couple of days' time. But Team USA has their sights set on gold at Milano Cortina 2026, the Paralympic Winter Games.
There's Malik Jones going off the ice. Had a very good tournament. Griffin Lamar. And there's the man, the myth, the legend, Declan Farmer.
Not the myth. I mean, there's no myth about it. It's real. But the legend is right.
Yeah, we just saw Miguel Bayer. I think he used the same rage as we did.
Yes. Well, in the third period, this is the overall shot tally, 41-5. Czechs wish they could have had more power plays because they were perfect in that department. But overall, USA, the dominant team in the 45 minutes, are complete 6-1 the final score. And they are off to the gold medal game. Czechia will battle for bronze. No panic at all in the U.S. when they got scored on 5 minutes in. They come back to win it. Lots of emotion, lots of passion, lots of goals scored by Team USA when all was said and done. 6 of them in the end, including another hat trick for Declan Farmer. He added 3 assists as well. It's 6-1, the final, USA in the semifinal for Czechia.